Hey guys, welcome to part 24 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the GameCube. In the last part we beat the disappointing boss of Goron Mines, and in this part we will be doing whatever comes after that. And joining me in this part, a very special guest, an LP who's much bigger than I am. It's the one and only Cowscrazy.
Moo! Cowscrazy here. How's it going, people?
That's the guy. That is
You
the
know
guy.
it.
Now, I don't want to blame anyone, but there was some issues recording this for the first time. Now, it was definitely one of us that did it, and I'm gonna blame you, Cows, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
That's the way it's gonna be.
I will take that blame, and I will raise you some blame, and I will turn it back on you and your horse Sparkle.
You leave Sparkles out of this, okay?
No,
It's my beloved
no.
horse, okay?
It's not a beloved horse. It's a... And that thing's still a guy.
That thing is somehow still a guy, yes.
Yeah.
I don't get it, because this is meant to be some sort of weird medieval time, right? So why does he have a haircut like that?
I don't know.
Like his mum just cut it along and then just shaved the back.
Yeah. It's the style at the time. It was very popular back in those days.
Back in the plague times, yeah, sure.
Yes, very popular.
I mean, I guess you could call it a bowl style, but it has the front bit as well, so I don't get it.
Well, I don't like the style of even just the clothing that they wear, like these weird kind of pant things that go, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just all the fashion of this particular game drives me a little nuts, actually.
It's a bit weird. It's also weird how they try and explain the tunic. You know, the green tunic in Skyward Sword?
Oh, well, they always try to come up with some
That
weird...
doesn't make any sense, because in Ocarina of Time, the whole point is that all the children in the Kokoriko, or whatever it's called, village,
Yep.
or tree hospital, tree orphanage, I don't know, they all wore green, so that's why Link was dressed like that. And then in Skyward Sword, they just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's apparently the knight's uniform or something like that. I don't know. And then in Wind Waker, it's some kind of weird tradition, and
Well, that's the tradition because the hero wore it.
yeah.
Because of the
So,
hero.
I don't know. I think they should just stop trying to explain it and just, like, the first two games, they don't explain why he's in green. Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. Just,
He's just looking good. Can't
he's
argue with
just
that.
looking damn good, exactly.
In a kilt.
Nobody else has to explain why they're wearing their clothes.
Yeah, I like that when they made Ocarina of Time, they obviously had to think like, okay, he wears all green, how short are we going to make his clothes? Are we going to make it so he's actually wearing trousers, or are we going to go for more of a kilt design? So he could possibly like flash Gorons. And they went for the latter for some reason.
Well, I'm glad they didn't want to flash some Gorons. That would have been a little weird.
Flash his Gorons, you could say.
Oh boy, flash his stones.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's not nice. This is a 12, let's have some class.
I got no class.
Yeah?
Let's buy some bombs.
Do this.
Blow things up.
See out, I don't know if I can get you in the same rant position again, but
No,
No?
you can't. Can't
So-
get me ranting again. Can't get me ranting about how much I hate Wind Waker.
oh shit! Cowscrazy to Miyamoto, Wind Waker sucked. Oh my god.
Oh boy, I'd love to tell him that to his face.
Yeah. I mean, what would that be the first thing you said? Because he's done quite a lot of good games at the same time.
Yeah, but usually the bad usually outweighs the good. in
Yeah, with
any
Miyamoto.
way. Yeah, I guess he's done some good stuff, but I don't know.
So he would come up to you and be like, "Hello, Cows." I can't do accents. "Hello, Cowscrazy." I really can't do accents. And you'll be like, "Whatever."
I'd be like, dude, man, why have you fucked up Zelda so much? Just, it wasn't broken. It wasn't broken. Don't fix it. And I'm glad that he wants to do a Link to the Past style game, because that is my favorite. So, if he wants to do another one like that, then I'm all for it.
Or
Bring
to,
it on.
to catch up, to anyone who's a dedicated fan to my LPs, which I know there's not double digits, but I know there's some. That I said before how on the 3DS they're talking about either doing a Majora's Mask remake, a Link to the Past remake, or a Link to the Past sequel. And I said you obviously want a sequel, and Cowscrazy, his favourite game is Link to the Past, so obviously you want the sequel.
I want the sequel.
But I'm not too
I
sure.
think
what...
I would want the remake because I like the game, but no, I don't want the remake. There's enough remakes. I'd want them all. That's what I'd really want. I'd want all 3 of those to be made.
That would be awesome.
In priority order, the original game needs to be the top priority. Because I've already played the other 2, and I can play the other 2 right now, anytime I want.
Yeah,
the original game, I can't play because it doesn't exist yet. So
yeah, that's the thing. The other 2 already exist. You can buy them. They already did a Link to the Past for Game Boy Advance, and Majora's Mask is already out there. I mean, what would really be different on a 3DS version? Like, Ocarina of Time was nice,
if
but...
they were going to do a Majora's Mask remake, the one thing that they have to do, I demand it.
You demand
okay?
it?
I
Oh,
demand it, okay, is they need a Master Quest. Master Quest Majora's Mask.
That would be nice, but the main problem...
It shouldn't be that hard. Because if you're doing it just like Ocarina of Time, all you're changing is the dungeons, and there's only 4 of them. Shouldn't be that hard, buddy. Just, you know.
Well, I think if they that would be so weird if they actually did a Majora's Mask remake though, because they already did Ocarina of Time, and surely people are going to be more pissed off that they're doing 2 remakes in a row than anything.
You would think, but yet people still want it
because there's been no 3D Zelda game on a handheld. Or an original one, anyway.
No, there has not. And
that would
even
cool.
if the original game they have planned is a sequel to A Link to the Past, then we have to assume that one's not 3D either.
Yeah.
Even though it's on the 3DS.
Well, I'm just interested what they would do for a sequel. Would they have the same map but have a different story and like tweak it a bit like I don't know, I don't really have an example, but you know, in a games where they have the original map but they just change it a bit? Or would it be a completely new map just in the same kind of style?
I'd prefer...
Because at that point, wouldn't it just be a 2D
similar map? I'd prefer a similar map but larger. Maybe more to explore other areas that we didn't see in the original game, you know?
Yeah. Like you just go around a corner and it's like, oh my god, there's this whole massive island I didn't see.
Yeah, stuff like that, just all that stuff. Maybe new passageways or caverns and stuff that lead to new areas.
I mean, I'm trying to think. There was a game that did that, but I can't remember what it was for the life of me. There was a game where it was a sequel, but they just, on the original map, they just expanded on it rather than do a whole new map. And it's really annoying me that I can't think of it, but it definitely exists. Where's my horse?
I don't know how you work from a sequel though, because that, you know, in the official timeline, he's supposed to, like, the game after that is, I think it's marked it as
Oracle.
I think they said the Seasons and Ages come after A Link to the Past, right?
Yeah. That's the 2 witches trying to bring back Ganon.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how that happens. And if they're trying to bring back Ganon, how come in the same timeline, which is later on, he is back in Zelda 1, and he has seemingly won because Hyrule is barren and gone, and I don't know.
Well, here's something I've always thought with the Zelda games is that you don't explore all of Hyrule, and that you just explore a limited section of the whole country.
Exactly,
The only place you only go to the places that are relevant to the game due to limitations and, you know, good game design. So with Ocarina of Time, they try and make it look like you're exploring the whole place, and I've always thought, no, you're not at all.
Well, that's the way I definitely felt in the first one, but...
Well, that's how I feel in A Link to the Past, because your house is in the middle of nowhere, like near the castle, and the only other houses are in like
The only problem is they keep using the same landmarks in every game, and how do they keep changing location?
Well, that's what people have a problem with this game, right? That it's just the same, like, set pieces as Ocarina of Time, which...
Like, how can Lake Hylia in one game be to the south, and in the other game it's to the north? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know. Fucking tectonic plates.
That's why I would have accepted the alternate dimension theory, where I don't know.
Well, isn't that what the split timeline is? That is alternate dimensions.
Yeah, I guess so, but
in a way.
But oh well.
They wanted to link it somehow, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's just sniff some bag and get on with it.
Sniff a bag.
Because this is one of my favourite Zelda games. That's why I'm LBing it. I do really love this game.
Pretty good. This one was decent. It was not too bad.
It's got my favourite dungeons in a 3D Zelda game.
Oh.
Yeah?
I've actually only beaten this to completion one time.
Oh, same. I only beat Zelda games once. I'm just that cool.
Really?
Yeah. I don't beat many games like that many times, and Zelda games are so long.
The 2D ones I've beaten on multiple occasions.
I know, you just...
And Ocarina of Time, I've probably beaten many times.
Oh, I've beat that a few
Majora's
times.
Mask, I've probably done a few times, but then after that, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, they're all one each.
See, I never beat Majora's Mask because... Okay, here's my massive problem with Majora's Mask, is that I don't like being timed in... Like, a Zelda game feels like it's all about exploration and finding stuff and solving puzzles. So
well, that's what it used to be about. I would say it's not about that anymore.
Not at this point, but I still felt in Majora's Mask it still was kind of that kind of thing. Yes. Especially with the way
Majora's
the dungeons
Mask was
were designed.
Definitely the beginning of them trying to really tell you, no, you're not allowed to go here yet. And yes, there are ways to break the game and go to places you're not supposed to yet, but they were really trying to make sure you didn't go to certain areas at certain times.
But yeah, that's the thing. I didn't like being timed at all.
No.
It made for some really cool plot things and some really cool scenarios, but in terms of gameplay, it's like, okay, I just want to explore this place. Let's not put a big old time limit on it that I have to stare at constantly when I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
It's just it wasn't bad, but I think people like it too much because it's all just a bit dark. Or...
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's cool that it's a bit dark, but in terms of playing it, with a controller and having a good time, I don't know.
I'm actually currently playing through Minish Cap on my 3DS because I'm the good old 3DS ambassador, so I got to download that. So I'm playing through it now. I've only played through that one once, and as I'm playing through it now, it's really reminding me a lot of Skyward Sword. They tried to say Skyward Sword was an original game and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think a lot of elements are taken straight from Minish Cap, and not just only items that are back from Minish Cap, but just the style of gameplay, like how they said the overworld would feel more like a dungeon because you're always solving puzzles.
I felt they were kind of trying to do that. They were trying to do that anyway.
They were trying to do that anyways, but I felt like they took it too far in Skyward Sword. That'd be one complaint, because now it's so much like there's zero exploration.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. You can't explore at all.
And I feel like because there's puzzles in the overworld, there's no sense of progression.
There isn't. It doesn't feel special when you get to a dungeon now.
Beating a boss is like okay.
More of the same.
Yeah, it's just the pacing is a bit off.
Yeah, the overworld shouldn't be about puzzles. It should just be about
a world.
It should just be a world, and let's go see what's over there right now.
Yeah.
And I would really like to see them do another game without a guide. I don't need Fee telling me where to go.
Oh
I don't
god.
need a hat on my head telling me where to go. I don't need a little fairy telling me where to go. Like, the first 3 games all work perfectly fine without ever being told what to do. Not once.
And
you know
you
what?
didn't beat them without buying a magazine.
And you did, and you got. Here's the thing: I read an article recently about what Shigeru Miyamoto wanted when he was making the first Zelda game.
Sure.
And deep down inside, he sold them on it by convincing Nintendo that gamers. Yes, the game was really hard. Yes, there was lots of puzzles in it and stuff like that, and that some people may not figure it out. It may take them months, weeks, years, whatever, right?
Sure.
But he sold them on it because he convinced them that gamers just don't play the game and don't talk about it. They go out there, and they share information with their friends, and they'll want to beat it. It'll be like a group effort to beat it. And
Sure.
if that's the case, if that's what he really thought back then, which is exactly what happened. People start to talk with their friends and share information. You did this, you got this. Oh my god, now I can go and get this too. Thanks for telling me, blah, blah, blah. You know, the Nintendo Power magazine was basically built off of games like Zelda and trading secrets and stuff like that, right? If that's really what he wanted, then why do you need a guide telling you every little thing to go, especially in today's age with the internet? Okay? It would be if you actually got stuck, you could look it up on the internet in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds.
I think
You know?
now, though, it's more about... Because the whole point in Zelda that you... Originally, they made it so you did get stopped, and you were stopping the whole time and not knowing. But now I
Yeah.
think the whole point is that they want the gameplay experience to be streamlined, so you have a feeling of small progression constantly, rather than one big moment of, yes, I've done this now. I think
No,
that's what they're going for.
I want that one big moment of
See,
oh
that's
my
the thing,
God,
that's
I
what
did
the
it.
old school gamers want. But
Yes.
younger players just want the streamlined experience where they're constantly being rewarded for doing something, for doing small things constantly rather
That's
than
like a
one
little
big thing.
chihuahua and you're feeding it things for sitting up then. No, that's
I
not
know.
good. Okay, that's like what you're teaching kids in sports where everybody gets a trophy even though you lost 15-0. Or even better yet, we're not even going to keep score and we're just going to kind of give you a little trophy and we can go,
Yay!
yay, we're all winners. No, you're not.
We all
Okay?
get a piece
To
of the
be a winner-
Triforce. Yay!
To be a winner, there has to be a loser, okay?
Mm.
And therefore, it's the same thing in this game. If you want a real thrill of accomplishment, you have to suffer.
Well,
You
it's
need-
why
Suffer.
I had when I was young, and you know, I was really young, playing Super Mario 64, I had no idea how to get any of the stars. Jump into a world, it'll say, will the eel come out to play? And you're like, what are you talking about? And you
Exactly.
just jump into the world and go with it. I mean, it took me so long to beat that game. And it's
I
weird
still
that yeah?
Nope. I've beaten lots of the worlds, but no, I haven't beaten it 100%. Never.
Well,
Not
you
once.
gotta do it, you know, obviously I know you will, but you gotta do it blind and record it and all that, because nowadays people will
Oh,
just instantly look it
I've
up.
played all the way I've played in every world, almost all the way to the end. There's maybe about 9 or 10 stars I've never gotten.
Right. Well, that's what made that game really good, and I think that's like the last... Oh shoot, I have no idea what to do. I think that's the last game, last Nintendo game that they had it in that, like, you know, that sort of style, where it was like, okay, you're gonna get rewarded once you actually figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, with especially Super Mario Galaxy, it's crazy how much that game holds your hand. You don't have to figure anything out in that game.
That is true. It's not even like a... You know, it feels more like it just progress through the level kind of thing, right?
You jump
But
around.
I do enjoy it though. I really...
Yeah, I do.
really
It's
thought-
really cool.
I thought Galaxy 2 was the best one they've done so far. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're being rewarded, but at the same time, it felt more like a 2D Mario game actually put into 3D style. It felt like just go through the level, beat your little things, and when you get to the end, you get your star. That's what it felt like. It felt like a game like Mario, and I guess that's why I liked it.
Well, I prefer Galaxy 1, but I think that's maybe a discussion for another time, maybe.
Maybe.
Because I felt Galaxy 2, I grew up with Super Mario Bros. 3, not Super Mario World, and I prefer Bros. 3 so much more to Super Mario World, that I felt like that's why I kind of preferred Galaxy 1, because that felt more like a mix between 64 and Bros. 3, where Galaxy 2 felt like 64 and Mario World.
Really? I never really thought about it like that, because I am also more of a fan of Mario 3 than World. Not that anything's wrong with World.
Yeah, nothing wrong with World, just with the map, with the whole world map system, and I think the style of levels in Galaxy 1 matched the style of levels in Bros 3 more for me, you know? I don't know, that's just how I feel anyway. I felt playing it. They're both great, I just prefer Galaxy 1. Because there's more exploration as well. Jesus Christ, that's not nice.
That's a big evil bird.
Yeah, I don't know what they're meant to be. Are they meant to be...
I don't know. Got a weird looking face, and that's supposed to be his nose? I don't know.
It's a head and a nose. I don't know how it sees, but... I mean, it's telling me to press
Maybe it's
A
an eye.
Maybe. It's telling me to press A to jump, but I don't think that's going to help at this point.
No, that's probably not going to really work out too well.
Oh, god damn it, no. Don't wring my neck, don't wring my neck. Okay, good. Oh god. I can't remember how to beat this thing. I'm guessing I have to wait till it, flies down.
I think you have to jump when it comes in low.
Okay.
And you kind of strangle it.
Wait, hold on.
At least that's what
I shouldn't let it grab me. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you want to grab it, not it grab you.
There we go.
Yeah, sort of like that.
It's weird that they made a Zelda game with a wolf now. At this point, we just kind of take it for granted that they just made a Zelda game where you play as a wolf, but
yeah,
really, it's really out there for a Zelda game.
I didn't really like it at first.
This
game took a while to grow. This one's really slow to get started. Twilight Princess, it's really slow. And even at this one, it's very focused on where you gotta go and what you gotta do until you beat, I think, maybe the first 3 dungeons or whatever. Yeah. Then it really opens up. But until you beat all the dark areas, right? And you can transform.
Then the thing happens.
Yeah. When you can start, then you have more free range, and the game feels a lot better.
But I loved this game because of the split. Like, A Link to the Past had the split with the Dark World.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time had the split with Adult Link. And this game has the split with the Fused Shadows. I really enjoyed that, because in Majora's Mask there was no split, and in Wind Waker there was no split either.
No, you're right. And that's what I was actually hoping to... I really didn't think the game was over yet, just because of the lack of dungeons when I got to the end.
Yeah.
Like, when I actually got into Hyrule in Wind Waker, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I want to go, I want to explore this area. I thought it was going to be a whole new... I was just halfway through the game, and it was going to be a whole new world down there.
Yeah.
And then, no, it's just follow the Yellow Brick Road, and we're back at the Forsaken Fortress. Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Yuck. Because...
why did I even have to go down there if I just end up at the same spot I could have went to by the water? Oh!
It's just weird, because that was the generation of 4 stealth sections.
Yeah.
And now, playing Wind Waker then, I didn't like them, but I put up with them. But now looking back on that generation where... most games just had to have a stealth section for no reason. It's like, okay, now you're crouching for an hour, avoiding guards for no reason.
Yeah,
and at the time we just put up with it because Metal Gear Solid was awesome, and now it's like, why? That doesn't make any sense. It's Zelda.
No. It was just the thing to do at the time. It was cool.
That one bit in Ocarina of Time trying to get to Zelda was cool, but that lasted 5 minutes and it was done.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I love this game because it's the most cinematic out of them all. And Skyward Sword kind of drags down by trying to have, character development, and I don't think it really works. But this game, I think it's got the right mix. That's why I
No,
really enjoy it.
that really annoys me in Skyward Sword is that I have to go back to the sky to get to another area on the ground. They should have. Why can't I walk between the areas? Obviously, like, it's not impossible. The Goron's doing it. We meet him in one area, and then he walks to another. So, he's not flying into the sky. There's obviously some way to walk there.
There's something yeah, I don't think... If there's anything that Zelda didn't need, it wasn't a hub world between areas. That kind of takes out half of the point of exploration and exploring a whole world.
Exactly. That was the final key that made sure you couldn't explore freely. It was just... This is another big dungeon, and you're just gonna solve it, and that's it.
Yeah, I just don't think it didn't work. And on that note, I think it's a good time to end the episode. I did so much more on this re-recording than I did before, so I guess it kind of worked out in the end. So I've been on Storm23, and with me has been...
Boo! Cowscrazy.
And don't forget to check out his channel. He's much bigger than me, so I don't think I need to plug his stuff. So thank you very much for joining me, Cowscrazy, and I will see you for the next part.
Moo.